Now, in this lecture, we're going to look at your desktop area and we're going to have a quick overview of it to make sure that you're all okay with it. So, first of all, the operating system that we're using is Mac OS Mojave. So, it's 10.14, it's the latest version. Do always try to make sure that you're on the latest version, but depending on the Mac that you're using, that will vary. But it's better if you can always keep updated, and we will look at that in later versions. So, getting started, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the different areas of your Mac. And we're going to first of all go up here to the very top left corner. I'm going to zoom in just so you can see it. So we'll see it here up the very top left hand corner. This is your menu bar, okay? So the first thing we have is we have our Apple icon up here in the left. If we click it, you see it's going to give us a number of different areas here. Now we will go through the different areas as time goes on and as the course goes on, but we're just going to look at the Apple icon for the first thing. It lets you do things like find out about this Mac, and about this Mac will tell you about your version, the Mac you have, the software that you're using, and so on. System preference is going to be it's the same as settings. It's going to be where we do our settings and where we change different things that we want. App Store is where we're going to get apps later on. We'll talk about that. And the different options here you can see you can restart, sleep, or shut down. We have a lock screen and we have log out. So I have a demo open at the minute. So as the course goes on, we will look at all these different things in their own light. So there's no point in going into them just yet because we wouldn't have the time or the scope to do it just yet. But as the course goes on, we will go into each thing in more detail. Then we have this section here. So you can see from Finder right across here to Help. Now this is what's called a contextual toolbar. And what contextual means is it's going to change with the context. So depending on what we're using, at the minute we are on our desktop, and our desktop is Finder. We will talk about Finder later on, but it's showing us a Finder toolbar. But if I go down here to the bottom, I'm just going to click on my calendar, just to open up the calendar for us. When I open up the calendar, you can see straight away my menu bar at the top here has changed to a calendar menu bar. So because we are now dealing with calendars, it automatically changes for us. And that's something that's totally different from Microsoft things. So anyone that is starting Mac for the first time, or anyone that's coming from Microsoft to Mac, this is the main thing. It's very different because Microsoft doesn't use that. Each window has its own menu bar. Whereas, so the menu bar would be up here on a window. Whereas when you're dealing with Mac, the menu bar always remains up there in the top left corner, and it just changes depending what you're using. So that is going to change from time to time. If I click into the area, so I'm going to wave my mouse there just so you can see it getting big. If I click out here in that blue area there that you can see, now yours may not be the same color, but if I click out of it, you'll see instantly that menu bar at the top will change back to Finder because I'm then dealing with my desktop. So you can see it now has Finder up there. And if I click back on my calendar window, it changes back to calendar, and you can see the calendar is more prominent and it's highlighted. Okay,